Welcome back to Murder Therapy with Doll Talk.
Murder.
You did?
I didn't do the.
I know, because we're side by side. So as you can see, that this one is going to be different because we have men.
The husbands.
The husbands, yeah.
The husbands. The security. I forget which way we're. Yeah, the security and the.
Security.
Yeah.
Insecurity.
Yeah, he's.
Bruh.
Yeah, that's what he said this morning. He said it's insecurity.
And the producer.
And
you guys finally get to put faces.
Yes,
to the names.
But they don't get to see when Ryan's face gets really red and he's like, "I told you not to touch anything."
we should really should.
And it all went exactly how it normally does on Wednesday nights.
It did. We still had technical difficulties, so the distance does not matter.
No, really not. Yeah, not really.
There was some.
Yeah, my dog kept pulling the
microphone. Yeah, the dog kept walking by, and then all the kids are outside right now.
We kicked them out.
Yeah, we kicked them out because we didn't want interruptions. And Carson came up with every scenario that he possibly could in the mix. And he's like, what if I need a drink? What if I'm hungry? What if this happens? And I'm like, yeah.
Just go.
Just go. Just get out. Just get out. So this is a perfect episode that we needed men to be a part of. And
I'm apologizing to you guys right now why she chose this episode. She's basically calling you guys pigs.
That's not true. That is not what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's a perfect episode for a male perspective to come in. Yeah. There is no murder today, but we do have abduction. Okay. And we are traveling to Australia. All the way. I thought I heard something. I'm sorry. I heard a cough. So
that was Cora.
That was Cora coughing. Okay. So yeah. So we're going to the land down under.
From the land down under.
With an abduction. I'm excited. All right. Here we go.
I don't hear that motorcycle.
Here we go.
What?
Listen. We live in a house, in a place, with cars and motorcycles. I'm sorry.
With cars and motorcycles in the house?
In and around the house.
In and around the house. Okay. All right.
Welcome to Ohio.
Welcome to it. Well,
we're the only place with cars and motorcycles.
Are you saying in Virginia we don't have cars and motorcycles?
We don't.
Yes.
I think he's referring to the drive-thrus because we just be driving through houses and shit.
Yeah,
well, they drive. Okay.
We didn't take him through one though.
I thought he was
referring
referring.
to a house.
Not this time though.
Jesus Christ! I thought that he was referring to the fact that back home, we have an issue with the cars driving into businesses and stuff. That's what I thought.
Well, that definitely happens here.
It happens here, but they're meant to drive through them.
You gotta stay on your toes.
Not always. Sometimes people just decide that they need a new entrance.
Well, I don't know that ours is intentional. Our Dollar Tree has been drove into 3 times.
Well, who needs a Dollar Tree?
Once each side was plywood, and you just had a plywood door. And plywood.
I want to know what's going on in Virginia.
Math.
Okay, all right.
We're getting banned.
Oh yeah, I know.
Tonight.
This is getting messy real quick.
All right, here we go. So we are talking about the abduction of Julian Bushwald and Carolyn. I forgot her last name, but that's all right. Yeah, I know. I've done fucked up.
Oh, you Carolins.
I'll stop. Yeah, all right. We are going to 2008. Okay. Now, Julian is 22 years old at this time, and Carolyn is 17, and they have been in a romantic relationship for 2 years. Yes, Ryan, I saw him shaking
I wasn't
his
even
head.
looking.
Yeah, so he was 20 when she was 15, and they got into a romantic relationship together.
So what does that make him? One of Ryan's favorite type of
He's a
people?
pervert.
He's a pervert. I love. He didn't say what I was expecting him to say. He's being so kind right now.
He's being professional.
Grooming.
He's grooming.
He's
Is that
grooming.
what? Yeah. Yeah. Well. Yeah. You could say he was grooming.
I mean, let's be honest. At 15, you're so impressionable, and you will do anything for attention. And I mean,
well,
I'm dating a 20-year-old.
Well, here's the thing.
So
They
cool.
come from really hardcore Christian backgrounds. And it's not funny. I'm not laughing at the fact that they are very Christian. Like, if that makes you happy, by all means. That's not what I'm laughing at. I'm just The look down there on Ryan's face is killing me right now. But they came from Christian backgrounds, and they actually met at their local church. Okay, that's how they got together. But they've been together for 2 years. I just wanted to emphasize that it wasn't 17, 22, and then she's like 19 and he's 24. No, she was a minor. He is an adult, and they're in a romantic relationship together. But they had not been intimate because, again, they come from that hardcore Christian. I love the look on his face down there.
They're behaving.
They're behaving.
Yeah.
Yes, they're behaving.
I said 2 minutes ago that I was going to remain professional, so
You're beeping.
I know. I'm so sorry, you guys.
my wife's a robot.
Ryan says
If
everything.
anybody wonders, it's real. I married one.
He did. She beeps.
Yeah, she does
Yeah.
a lot of cleaning too.
I got a good model at least. I opted a little extra in for that model to make sure it cleaned up after me.
Just call me Rosie.
Watch your mouth.
I'm Rosie. I'm Rosie from the Jetsons. I clean and I beep. My son says everything in my life beeps. He said my phone beeps, this beeps, my mom beeps.
Every person that watches this is just going to cut this off and be like, this is the biggest shit show I've ever seen in my life.
They are diabetic
Yes.
devices. I'm so sorry. And right now it's really mad at me. So
It's really mad at me.
Yeah.
That's fine. Okay. So they both come from Christian backgrounds. They have agreed that they are not going to be intimate, but they both are going to get married when Carolyn graduates high school. Okay. They've already made that commitment. Not to say that they're officially engaged. He hadn't put a ring on it, but they have discussed the fact that they plan on getting married.
So he's a pervert with pretend morals.
They had discussed getting married.
Where were the parents at?
They were in church.
Nathan's like, where was the dad with the gun? I don't understand.
Not every dad thinks like you do with a daughter. They met at the church, so I'm assuming both the parents were there.
Oh, they should.
I love that we're not even halfway into
I
this.
know.
This is
I told you
already
this was gonna be
all right.
interesting.
Questions.
Yeah, okay.
I just have questions.
Well, we'll get there where you can ask more. So, all right. So we're going to March of 2008. He decides that he's going to ask her parents if he can take her on a picnic. Okay, and just looked. I can't make eye contact. with
There's
her.
a reason why they're not sitting together.
Yes,
just
there's a reason why we were in the middle. Yeah. Okay. So he says that the plan was this was the plan. They're going to plant trees. They're going to walk to the waterfall, and he even planned a treasure hunt with the prize being a handmade wooden platter. Look.
That's our next date.
Yeah.
If we don't plant trees on a date.
He said, I'm going to put you through all of this, and at the end of it, I got you a charcuterie board.
Oh. I want to know why you've never taken me on a treasure hunt.
Because I already got your booty.
See, you would have told him. I would have went like, well, because you already found the treasure when you got me.
Oh my. No, my husband's just an asshole.
He stayed on the theme though. Yours is terrible.
His answer was better. I'll give
Oh
him that.
God.
Okay. So they go on this picnic. Of course, Carolyn's parents was like, of course, Julian, but you got to have her back by 3 p.m. because they're hardcore Christians.
Oh God, that's quite a curfew.
Yeah, that's quite a curfew. It's 3 p.m. So they go do their thing. I don't know if they went on the treasure hunt. I just know that was his plan. And apparently on the way home, there was roadkill. And it wasn't uncommon for Julian to want to stop and look at the roadkill. What?
That's weird.
That's completely normal.
Well, when I read that, it gave me Jeffrey Dahmer vibes.
Neither one
That's
of you
immediate.
stop and want to see a dead raccoon on the road? Like
You
ever?
see a dead body?
Oh, it was an animal. It wasn't. So
It's a dead body.
I don't know what kind of animal carcass it was. I'm sorry. I didn't have that prepared. But it's like
Horrible.
10 minutes. It's like 10 minutes till the curfew. And Carolyn's a little agitated because she was a really good girl and she didn't want to piss off her parents. Like, she wants to get home on time. And Julian's out and he's taking forever. And she's looking at the clock and she's like, he's taking forever. And she doesn't see him. So she gets out because she's concerned. She's like, maybe something has happened. Maybe something has attacked him. Because remember, they're in Australia where the land of the most fucked up animals are. So anything, anything can happen. So when she gets out, there's this black figure and it just starts running full sprint at her. And she gets back in the car.
Was it Bigfoot?
It's a wise decision.
Oh, well, it ends up pulling her out of the car. It gets to the car. He pulls her out, throws her on the ground, blindfolds her with duct tape, hog ties her, duct tapes her mouth, cuts all her clothes off of her so she's completely naked, and throws her in the back seat. She has no idea where Julian is.
That's rough because, man, you know everything in Australia out to kill you.
Yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying.
No protection. This poor guy.
Well, they have, like, spiders that come up out of the ground, and...
They have massive spiders.
They do.
Everything burrows, like the snakes burrow, the
oh,
spiders
God.
burrow.
It's making me... Yeah, it's... Australia's terrible.
And he took all her protection away.
He did.
He
did.
Well, she doesn't know where Julian's at. She just knows that she's being abducted. Well, the
asshole just left her?
Well, what do you mean the asshole just... Like, what do you mean? Like, are you talking about Julian?
Yeah.
Well, we don't know where Julian is right now. Like, we just know Julian got out, so... I don't know. Like, she's just in the back of the car, and the car starts going. And it traveled for 6 hours.
Oh.
Yeah, she went riding for 6 hours.
That's normal.
What?
I said that's normal. Yeah.
That's normal? Yeah, okay.
Riding around with naked people in the back seat.
Yeah.
For 6 hours. Yeah.
I'd be like, put me in a seatbelt before you drive me that far.
Well, apparently the car went to Alpine National Park, but she didn't know where it was going because she couldn't see anything. She just knows she's in the car. She's butt-ass naked. She's hog-tied. And, yeah.
Not in a seatbelt. That's not safe.
Click it or ticket.
Yeah. Okay.
Just imagine being that nervous. You know she had to fart and there was nothing to stop it.
This is terrible. Oh my God.
This is going exactly how I thought it was going to
I'm glad it's going. This is not going the way I thought it would, but it's okay.
Right.
So, listen at my husband, yeah. Alright, so the car stops. The kidnapper gets her out. She still doesn't know what's going... Like, she doesn't know where Julian's at all. He throws her on the ground, and all of a sudden she starts hearing, like, someone digging in the ground. So she's immediately like, oh my God, I'm about to be raped and buried alive. Like, that's what she really thought. And she said that she just immediately started praying because she thought she was going to be killed. I would have thought the same thing. I know, it's sad. Could you imagine listening to your own grave being buried? Dug.
That's terrifying.
It is terrifying. So they dig this hole. They throw her in the hole. And then she hears them walking off. And she's like... Are they going to come back? So she's like not making any noises or anything? Because what would you do?
She's still tied.
Yeah, she's still tied. She can't move or anything, but it's like, what would you do in that circumstance? And then all of a sudden she hears Julian like screaming for help, but it's like really faint. And so she starts screaming back, help. So he claims he wakes up and he sees a knife on the ground that the abductor must have left or like dropped or what. Was you shaking his... I thought Ryan was shaking his head. I was like...
I'm trying to do this follow, so at this point...
I know, it's really...
Julian was also abducted?
Julian was also abducted.
Oh, okay.
So he manages to, like, break his ropes or whatever with the knife. And he goes to Carolyn's rescue. He's also naked. Stop! You're getting me laughing. I'm trying... Sorry. Kidnapping's not humorous.
Naked people make me laugh.
You're so juvenile.
Just to imagine being the kidnapper, pulling it down and find out his tingy's that big. I'm trying to keep a straight face finishing your task.
Okay. All right.
You guys are losing all of your support.
I can't.
After this
I
episode.
know.
I know.
It's all your fault.
I'm losing all my support.
Both of their faults.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't think I will. All right. They've put up with me and him this long. Like, I'm good.
The only thing they see of Nathan is his shadow go by a light.
occasionally he speaks and says vulgar shit when I'm on TikTok, and I'm like, you're gonna get me banned, and you need to stop.
I get on there with my mask sometimes.
Yeah, he does get on there.
Oh,
with
that's
with his stupid Michael Myers mask.
just because we know Nathan.
If I had it
personally.
right now, I would straight have it on.
He would. He really would. Somebody said this morning when I was live streaming in there, they were like, I didn't recognize Nathan without his Michael Myers mask.
Jaden's got like a red Jabberwocky mask in his closet. We should have let Nathan wear it.
I would wear it.
TikTok tomorrow gonna be live.
Oh my god. Alright, so where were we? Oh, okay, so Julie.
They're both naked, awkwardly in the woods.
Well, he gets down there, he gets he gets Carolyn, and he's, using the knife to get the ropes off of her. They're both naked. But she said that he had blood coming off his forehead and all this. And he was like, I got hit in the head, I've been unconscious, we got to get out of here.
This is what my wiener looks like. They got to break grounds, Like, alright.
What an icebreaker.
Stop looking, it's cold,
Is it cold in Australia?
Well, it's
That's
March.
It's
It's March, so at nighttime.
I'll say it's at night.
It's at night, so it gets really cold.
It'll be
And
75,
then it's like,
it's still cold.
He said if I get out of this, I'm gonna swear there was a shadow. That's why he couldn't see it.
well, it's like a desert. Like, it's really hot during
Yeah.
the day, and then at nighttime it gets like super, super cold.
That's a lie.
Lie. I knew he was gonna
That's
say.
a lie. Las Vegas does not get any cooler at night.
Well, in Australia, apparently at night, in March, it gets cold.
Las Vegas was 113 in the day and 112 at night. It did not change.
It's
Well-
true. It's so true.
He says that he's like, we gotta make a run for it. Like, the kidnappers left, like, let's get the fuck out of here. But they have no idea where they're at. Because they've been drove like
That's
6
why I said, why would they do all of that and then just leave? That sounds so ridiculous.
Well, hold on. You're gonna learn.
Okay.
Yeah. Stop jumping ahead.
I'm sorry to get me all...
Well, as they're going, they do find a book bag. And in this book bag, it had a sleeping bag, some peanut butter, a toothbrush,
What is happening here?
a shovel. The shovel was beside the book bag. It
He said
wasn't.
we gonna have a good time, goddamn.
And some coconut.
Oh my god.
That was what was in the book bag.
Okay.
Okay, so they take the book bag and they go on.
It's
Now-
pretty lucky.
Yeah, I know, right? It's
Peanut
like,
butter and coconut.
yeah. But I think there was only one toothbrush. I don't know that there was two.
Oh, they gotta share a toothbrush.
Yeah, well, I mean, it
Wink,
sounded like he
wink.
was trying to eat the booties like grocery, but at least thought about brushing his teeth afterwards.
Yeah, see?
Do you love me enough to share a toothbrush with me?
No,
Okay,
just kidding.
anyway. Back home, because remember, they come from a really strict, like, Christian household. When they didn't get back, Julian's mom begins to panic because apparently he was really good about being back when he was supposed to be back. Yes, he was 22, right? He still lived at home with his parents.
Not weird at all.
Okay. And so she gets to looking, and she happens to notice, like, in the fence outside that there's a note there. And she gets this note, and she starts reading it, and it specifically says, in a nutshell, I'm just going to give you the Cliff Notes version, that both of them, Carolyn and Julian, have been abducted by a satanic cult. Not to call the law or anything, because they'll be returned safely. However, if they do, they will kill them. And what do you think that the mother did?
Called the cops.
Well,
I
yeah.
know.
She wasn't like, well, let me fold this back and
Because
put it
God
back
knows
on
the
fence.
dad wasn't protecting the daughter.
Oh
Jesus.
my God, stop! Well, she contacts authorities. So, of course, authorities is under the impression they're looking for where would you do human sacrifices at, I guess, as a satanic cult.
Could you imagine the Google history? The Google history.
Well, technically. All right, so now on a religious...
Satanic cult locations near me.
There's only, like...
I mean, this was 08. Google really wasn't as prevalent, so it would have been Ask
right.
Jeeves. Jeeves would have been hooking this motherfucker up with orders.
No. No, Ash Jeeves was not still around in 2008.
Yeah, it was. I know for a fact it was, and I say that because I wrote my high school term paper about Lizzie Borden, and Ask Jeeves helped me do my research.
Oh, God.
I'm just saying, we've been down to where Jodi lived and where she grew up. They a couple years behind anyway, so I know for a fact Ask Jeeves was everything in.
Just there. Like, literally, they got non-dial-up internet in, like, 2015.
Yeah, it was about that time. She said I had to think about it. Yeah. Mom finally just got away from whatever you want to call that she had before, and now has, like, broadband. And she's so tickled. Like, yeah, she doesn't have any issues. I can't ever do the podcast without mentioning Mom. So.
When you go to your mom's house, I still don't get cell phone service.
No, I don't get cell phone service, and I live out that way. Like, nobody does.
I'm like, when we came down to visit for Steve's wedding, I literally had to tell, okay, well, you gotta call me before we get onto this road, because I'll lose service as soon as I hit this road. And then I won't have it until tomorrow when I come back the other direction.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, what I was going to say, so really, satanic cults, they really don't give a fuck. Like, people have this mentality that they do human sacrifices and stuff, and Satan worshipers really could give a shit less. If you told them, like, I think you're going to kill me as a human sacrifice, they'd probably be like, yeah, we will, but they're not really going to. But apparently there is one that actually does believe in the human sacrificing thing, but I don't know what branch of Satanism they are.
I just said they don't give a fuck. Of course they don't. What are they going to do? Go to hell?
But you got to think about it. Like, people have this mentality. You know, they label everything. That you know what I mean. I just had to touch base on that. Okay. Anyhow, moving on.
Back to Australia.
Yeah, we're back to Australia. So we're going to the first night that they're literally naked and afraid. Yeah.
I love that show.
Why?
Damn, that was definitely... You should have told me that. Well, that would have been the name of the episode.
Yeah. Right.
I don't know.
It's the idea for their new...
Afraid. I take that back. I'm glad we let the special episode. We're leaving it there. Sorry.
We can't do that. When we get further on, then you'll be like, I know we can't call this Naked and Afraid because it's fucking terrible. But
I think you underestimated.
I think you just invented a whole new idea for a show.
Me?
M. Night Shyamalan's paying attention.
Well, listen. Okay, no, I know what I was going to say. Naked and Afraid, I hate that show. You don't even win money. Like, you're just, all you get to say is, I survived the wilderness naked and afraid.
I'm not going to lie, Ryan and I watch that show all the time. And we are those people that are like, well, if they just do this, like, we think it's so easy.
Hell yeah, I'm a fucking...
Then y'all go be on Naked and Afraid.
What?
Y'all go do Naked and Afraid.
I would never.
I would never.
I would. I'm diabetic. I would die.
Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, you would. Don't do that.
My tool would have to be insulin so I could survive out there, and then I'd die another form because I wouldn't be able to eat or chop anything down.
All right. So the first night that they're there, Carolyn compared it to the Blair Witch Project because they had literally crossed through creeks and went through like all these god-awful rivers in the nighttime in Australia, in case you forgot. And literally ended up going into a complete circle. Just like in the Blair Witch Project, they were like, that's the same fucking tree we've passed 18 times. Like, yeah.
Does that tree look familiar?
Yeah, we've been around here. So yeah, they're completely lost. That was just night number one.
Well, I wonder how they figured that out. I wonder if they pissed on the tree or something and come back around and just smelled it.
I feel like if you keep serving...
Yep, that's mine.
Yeah, I left the deuce sitting there. Right, this is definitely my shit.
Oh my god, you're awful.
I recognize that beef.
This is so terrible.
God.
Oh my god. So
this is what you wanted. I'm just...
It is. Now, after 1 week, they had to live like this for an entire week. They were finally discovered by this farmer that happened to be they managed to get towards I guess a road, and this farmer was going by and he gets them. They were severely sunburnt to the degree that they had blisters all over them.
Oh my god.
Cuts, bruises. I mean, they've been in the fucking wilderness of Australia for a whole week. Yes.
I mean, Naked and Afraid does 14
Yes.
days. 22 days.
Now, obviously,
You guys are
Yeah, they
chumps.
need to step her game up.
police want to, interview because they're under the
Survival
impression.
rating's like a 2.
What did he say?
He said their survival rating is like a 2.
Well, remember, they had the book bag of, they had peanut butter.
And they
Yeah.
had cheat.
You mean to tell me they had peanut butter and coconut and they didn't survive?
Well, no, they did.
They did.
They are. They're
Oh, they were
alive.
just
They
sunburned.
do. Yeah, they're sunburned.
Why the fuck they didn't just smear the peanut butter on their skin to protect them?
Because you got to eat that, Ryan.
Well, maybe they
That's what
haven't
the
watched the
coconut's
show.
for.
They should
Yeah.
know that you put mud on yourself.
I think it was small
Okay.
portions.
If they're in a desert, where's the mud?
I don't
You
know.
gotta pee on it.
Well, are you?
Make your own.
No.
But how would they find the tree if they peed on the sand?
Yeah, it's true. We got questions.
Well, there's a whole segment at the end of this when you get to ask questions. I'm about to shut you both
We-
off. Like,
We can go ahead and handle that shit now.
no, we're
No
not.
questions.
Okay. I can't. I gotta get a sip of coffee. Like, oh Lord, don't look at the notes. You can't know what happens.
Don't look at her notes.
He can't
Look at her
read.
I
awesome
can't fucking read.
doll talk.
Oh my God.
Coffee. Or,
Yeah, I have
it's not a
this
coffee
beautiful-
cup. There's put
yeah,
coffee in it.
Yeah, it's not that I will use it for coffee. Okay, anywho. So obviously the police want to talk to them because there's a satanic cult that is like kidnapping people, right? And they need to figure out where this cult is so they can nip this shit in the bud.
What if it happens to somebody else?
Exactly. Well, that's the thing. Like, we can't have people like having to literally do Naked and Afraid unwillingly in the desert of Australia.
I think that would make a great show.
They
So
have all the different Naked and Afraid XL, Naked and Afraid this, Naked and Afraid Unwilling.
Really?
Damn it, that was the episode name.
he's so fixated on that. So they talk to Carolyn, and she's talking about everything that happened from the beginning of getting out of the car, the black figure charging at her getting in the car, it pulling her out, and so on and so forth. And they talk to Julian, and he's like, this person hit me in the back of the head, and I was unconscious for the whole 6 hours, which is medically impossible. And they're like, that doesn't sound right.
Wait, this was Julian that said that?
Yeah, Julian said he was
Oh, wow,
unconscious
okay.
the whole time that he was in the trunk of the vehicle, and he was unconscious the whole time. There's no physical way possible that one person would be unconscious for that amount of time. If you're knocked out, maybe 5 minutes tops. It's not being unconscious.
That's not. You are in a coma.
Yeah.
I've never seen Ashley sleep.
Yes, they have. This morning.
I did. They did. I live streamed it. Anyhow, that sounds so creepy.
That's not weird at all.
I didn't live stream just my cousin sleeping.
We're really close, you guys.
Yeah, we really are very close. Okay. So Julian left out some significant details that Carolyn had touched on. They're there's something odd about this. There's just something very strange. So
Wait, wasn't Carolyn in the trunk?
no, Carolyn was in the back seat.
Okay. I was like, why were they both in the trunk and they didn't know?
No. Julian was in the trunk.
Okay.
Carolyn was in the back seat. So they go back out to where
That's
they
why
were.
they don't remember anything. He doesn't remember anything. She at least was in the air conditioning. He suffocated in that hot ass trunk. You know
Oh
how
my
hot it
God.
gets?
Well, they go back out there. They ended up finding this hole that got dug that Carolyn got thrown into. And what do you know? Inside there is clothes and some items like the rope and
The peanut butter.
the
Peanut
cake
butter.
and the
peanut butter's not out there.
Why is there a hole in the peanut butter?
Oh my god.
I like that the only thing they're fixated on is the food portions.
You guys hungry? I got some peanut butter in there.
It's coconut.
I do not have coconut. I'm sorry.
Well, they learned that some of these items are linked to no other than, can you guess who? Anybody?
Carolyn.
Carolyn.
Producers of Naked and Afraid.
Julian.
Yeah, Julian. Yeah. I bet she wasn't guessing that. Yeah.
Carolyn set it all up.
Carolyn. What the fuck?
we know better.
Yeah.
I got your back, King.
Oh, God.
This is so bad. Okay. So, no, Julian set it up. And his motive was he staged this kidnapping, and during their rendezvous into the wilderness on one night, he suggested that him and Carolyn have sex before marriage so that they could be warm and keep their body temperature up because they were freezing. And she was like, yeah, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to stay to my values. I want to wait till marriage.
We
and
can cuddle.
then
He saved her life.
Stop!
He was trying
Leave it to
to.
a woman.
Oh my God! Stop! So then he told her that they could go ahead and get married under the eyes of God, below the stars, and then they could consummate the marriage because they were probably going to die anyway. And she was like, my parents, that's literally what he told her. She's like, my parents wouldn't approve. But the whole point of him staging this was he did not want to wait till marriage, and he was going to try to get his girlfriend to have sex with him.
I mean,
Bro, you gotta have some weak ass game to have to go that far.
Well, I'm like,
And you already fucking 30 years older than her, you fucking pervert.
he wasn't
He
30
was
years
not.
old.
that's a drastic.
That's a drastic change. She was 17 and he was 22.
Same difference.
A pedophile's a pedophile.
I know, he's so angry about that. Well, obviously, what happened, the only reason they found the farmer is because he got pissed off that his willy wasn't going to get wet, and he ended up, he was like, I'm going to lead her back to civilization. He knew how to get out of that the entire time. He spent a
He
whole
got shut
week
down and threw a fit. Typical.
naked and unwillingly afraid. Well, he was willingly afraid. She was not. Trying to con this 17-year-old girl to have sex with him, who wouldn't budge.
He staged all this and didn't get it.
Yeah, he staged all of it.
What
And
a waste
she
of
didn't
resources,
cave.
guy.
She didn't cave.
Oh, God.
Yeah,
I respect the grind.
my husband would.
It's a dedicated man.
You're disgusting.
I
Like, I
mean-
can't. All right, so Julian is now being charged with kidnapping and making a false report because of his, letter that he left in his parents' fence. So he gets arrested, but Mommy and Daddy come bail their 22-year-old son out of jail.
Oh, Jesus.
And while
Because he couldn't just move on to another girl if he wanted it that bad.
well, my
Like-
thing is, do what every other dude in America does and
Rub
put some
one out in the bathroom.
I was gonna say slip something in her drink, but
Oh, my God.
The
We're getting
50
canceled.
do
We
the
are getting
Cosby.
canceled.
I want you to
Cosby.
know. Oh my God!
this was the early 2000s. We've progressed since
Oh,
then.
He's
God.
undefeated.
They would just
He's
know
in prison.
that
That's
neither-
undefeated?
No,
Yeah.
Bill Cosby's out, but they let him out because
they
he's
did let
probably
him
going to
out.
die, and he ain't dead yet, unfortunately. But anywho, I just watched a whole documentary on him.
I'm afraid to drink my drink now.
I'm not.
I'm just
They would
kidding.
never. Ryan and Nathan would never do that. They're just idiots. So he gets bail, and what do you know? He fled the country. Now,
Oh, my God.
where do you think he went to hide?
United States.
No.
Oh, I figured we.
Oh, no. He's not a very good criminal at all. He went to India, and he attempted to disguise himself as Indian by dyeing his hair black
Makes sense.
What?
and his
They were fucking little kids over there.
Oh,
That was his
my
place.
God. Jody, you let him on here. We're done.
I know, we're just... Okay.
I have respect for the Punjabi people.
And cancel.
Oh, my God. Okay.
One and done.
He applied fake tanner and dyed his hair
Oh,
black
Jesus.
and dyed his eyebrows.
Seems legit.
He had a
He
fake
probably fit right in.
passport.
I would definitely believe that he was.
Oh, would you have?
Yeah.
Well, he was caught, obviously. He didn't get away
No.
with that. Yeah, he was caught.
You
And
mean to tell me the white guy in India didn't stand out, or he kind of just stood out?
apparently he got off the airplane in
Had a nice
Singapore, and they
tan.
were like, "Motherfucker, we know you're not Indian." And
They've
they
already
like-
sent us a picture.
Yeah, they were like, "We know that you're not Indian," and they ended up flying his ass right back.
Oh,
Yeah,
damn.
he didn't. Yeah, he didn't make it. very well.
Extradited right
Yeah,
back to
he was
Australia.
extradited right back to Australia. But the kicker to this is Julian actually isn't from Australia. He is German descent, and he was he moved from Germany to Australia when he was 1. So he wasn't in Germany long enough to really learn how to speak German. He didn't really know anybody in Germany. He grew up in.
Probably could have got laid if he had just stayed there.
Well, he couldn't. He got kicked out. Oh no, you're talking about Germany. Okay.
Yeah, he probably found some. I mean, there's probably women over there that are into roadkill too.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention he had staged the roadkill. Like he had put that there as a.
Where did he find
What the
that?
fuck? Like, why?
It was.
It's not weird at all.
His attention to detail took a weird turn.
Gotta go cruise around, find some roadkill to stage.
Yeah.
Was there actually anything in the picnic basket, or was it
weird.
just peanut
No, they
butter?
did go on. No, they went on a picnic.
Okay.
Yeah, they did. They had their picnic. I don't know. My thing is, I don't know if they did the treasure hunt. I don't know if they even planted the tree.
He was walking around with a treasure hunt.
No, that was not going to be my response.
Well,
There was no treasure hunt because he didn't get the booty.
oh my
Never got
god.
the booty.
During his trial,
That weak ass game, no wonder he didn't get the booty.
during his trial, he tried to say he had a developmental disorder that caused him to lack empathy for others.
Oh my
That was
God.
his like defense mechanism.
And that's a coincidence though, because I lack empathy for people like him.
So, how did that give him a leg to stand on? That's the
didn't.
lamest
It
excuse.
didn't. It didn't. He was sentenced to 5 years and 3 months for kidnapping, false report, and fleeing. That's all. The only amount of time he got. But in 2014, Immigration and Border Patrol learned that he had not really applied for his permanent residency in
Oh, shit.
Australia.
Oh, that's
So
what you
they were like, yeah, we're going to have to do something about that. So he pleaded to stay in Australia, and they were like, you abduct people to try to get them to have sex with you. Like, you don't, no, that's not happening.
not
So
weird at
they
all.
extradited him to Germany.
Oh, shit.
Yes, and he is now in Germany.
Their problem.
Where he can't speak German, and he knows nobody. And we
Oh.
don't really know whatever happened to him.
I've seen Eurotrip. Just send him to Vandersee.
Well, I'm just. He had to go to prison, still a virgin.
But obviously he's out. I wonder if he...
Well, I mean, I will say
didn't even
this.
think about
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't
he
know
did.
if German prisons are like American prisons, but you go to prison in America for, we're going to say, SA crimes, so we don't get canceled on this, and
We're
you
already
don't
there.
leave a virgin.
Nah. They're gonna break you in.
Oh my god. Well, he may have got what he wanted in the long run, but not from who he wanted and how he wanted. But that is the story of Julian Bushwald and Carolyn. And she has never spoke publicly about her case or anything. So I don't know what Carolyn's doing
I
now.
bet you
God
he
love
reached
her.
out to her when he got out.
I hope not.
Please forgive me.
I know what Carolyn's going to be doing after she watches this episode. She's going to be hitting us with a cease and desist.
Please just Ryan, not anybody else.
Yeah, just them two. It's fine. It's fine. But yeah, that's our story.
Well, yeah. It was a funny one. That's why she agreed to have you two idiots on here.
Oh, yeah. I knew that they would make
We
it worth
appreciate
my. Oh, do you appreciate it? You look
I
very
am.
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like,
I've been uncomfortable since you told me that he was 20 and she was 15.
that's
you know?
all.
That was like the first 2 minutes.
Yeah, that was the first 2 minutes.
Yeah.
We've only been going, for about 40 minutes. So, yeah, I've been uncomfortable for that long.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
I think it's being on camera. I remember my first episode.
I remember my first episode, as if Ryan tells us. Yeah, so do you have questions for the girls?
Well, Nathan said they have questions, so you better be asking them.
So,
I'm
okay.
slightly interested if I'm trying to think of the best way to put this on a professional side.
Oh, God.
Do German prisons deal with sex offenders the same way American prisons do?
Well, we will ask.
I mean, this might be something for the viewers to answer. If we have any German viewers, let me know.
I do have some following.
I can ask my
Germany.
grandmother.
Oh my!
She's been to German prison?
No, but I'm sure she knows.
I don't know that I want people that's been to a German
can we
prison.
phone a
comment.
friend?
Yeah, I really.
Don't discriminate.
I'm not
Fans or any of sorts.
I'm not discriminating. I'm just like being cautious and safe.
If you've been to a German prison, we still want your input. We're not discriminating.
Oh
Okay.
My God.
All right.
Depending on what your charge is. You done heard I'm uncomfortable by this case. You don't give me fuel.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Ready? Did you hear it? Ready?
We didn't even have to ask him.
I know. All right. Ryan wants to know: are German prisons like United States prisons and deal with sexual crimes the same way that? No.
I think it's not even
said-
letting her finish.
Yeah, they're
question.
like no.
They're like, we cut that.
If I had any disbelief in this, it definitely just escalated there.
Dummy. It said dummy.
It might be real.
Ryan, definitely. If they say creep. All right, Ashley.
Okay, did Julian reach out to her when he got out of prison?
It said yes. Ew.
I bet you he
Did
did.
Julian get a welcoming committee?
Oh my god. Did you? No.
Is Julian still a virgin?
That's a good question.
What?
I almost sounded like it said not his butt. I don't know why.
You don't have to answer that if
You
you.
can see how the prison ghost hunt went just by watching it.
Yeah. It literally went just like this.
And we were in a prison.
So, does Julian have any remorse for what he did?
Let's hope.
Any other questions?
Was there a hole in the peanut butter?
Oh my god.
I gotta feed their
Did he shove the coconut in it?
Don't even finish.
I'm getting like Hitler vibes on Little Nicky with pineapples.
Pineapple.
Nope. I swear. Nope.
That's why he had coconut. And all.
What else?
I don't think the girls have much of a sense of humor.
Aw, he don't mean that. I like
Did,
it.
did Carolyn laugh at Julian's wiener when she saw it?
I can't.
Nope. She's probably grossed out.
I was gonna say, did she throw up in her mouth a little bit?
It sounded like
It sounded like maybe.
Did everybody make fun of Julian at the precinct when they were interviewing him?
oh, I'm sure.
I couldn't make that out.
Did Julian at least put a seatbelt on Carolyn when she was unconscious
Oh
in the
my
car?
god.
Did they ever get Carolyn clothes? Or is she still wandering around?
I was just trying to let Nathan know that she was safe in the car, Rude.
They were avoiding that question because they didn't want him to get a ticket.
It sounds like a little kid's trying to come through.
She was clothed. Aww. Yes.
That's what you got? That sounds like bitch.
I may have been, and I'm gonna go with yes.
She's so positive.
Is Julian gonna do this again? So
In
we
Germany.
can do a second podcast episode.
Yeah.
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 He probably already has.
She's probably already got a hostage.
I hope he gets laid this time.
You're awful.
You're right. We're all. This is our last moments. I'm not gonna die.
Well,
That was extra. That was
podcast
so.
is good like that.
Yeah. Any other questions? They said that's it.
like,
they're
they're
like,
done with it.
they're like, them two have been
They're like,
cut off.
no, they're
Thank you, ladies. You all are the best. Release.
release us, please, because we're done with them.
All right.
Well,
All right,
that was
Ash.
entertaining.
What do they need to do?
They need to go freaking follow us, please. We're on most social media platforms. You like to listen, check us out on Spotify or right here on YouTube.
Yes. All right. And we will see you next week.
Bye, doll babies.
Bye.
Bye.